Councilmember O'Neill. Councilmember O'Neill is absent. Councilmember Bowie.
Here.
Councilmember Klopfenstein.
Here.
Councilmember Kim Nguyen.
Here.
And Mayor Pro Tem Deidre Nguyen.
Here.
And Mayor Jones.
Here. May I please ask Assistant City Manager Lisa Kim to do the invocation, followed by Councilmember Klopfenstein to lead us in the pledge.
Everyone, please rise and prepare yourself according to your faith. Dear Lord, tonight we pray for your guidance and that we work together in unison and in harmony and appeal to your higher selves to give us the strength and commitment to serve with the purest of intentions for the betterment of our community. Amen.
Please place your hand over your heart. Repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, I will now recess and hand it over to George Breitigam to lead the Housing Authority meeting.
Madam Clerk, can you call roll, please?
Commissioner Beckles.
Here.
Commissioner Bowie.
Here.
Commissioner Jones.
Here.
Commissioner Klopfenstein.
Here.
Commissioner Deidre Nguyen.
Here.
Commissioner Tan Nguyen.
Here.
Commissioner Vice Chair Kim Nguyen.
Here.
And Chair Breitigam.
Here.
And Commissioner Jones.
Here.
Okay. We will open up oral communications. This is specific to the Housing Authority, not the City Council agenda. Just anybody wishing to speak on any matters on the Housing Authority agenda? Seeing none, I will close oral communications. We'll move on to consent. We entertain a motion.
A
I move the motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second and a third. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Tan Nguyen. Commissioner Kim Nguyen. Commissioner Klopfenstein.
Yes.
Commissioner Bowie.
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Vice Chair Deidre Nguyen.
Yes.
Commissioner Breitigam.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Commissioner Beckles.
Yes.
Motion received, 8 yes votes.
Motion passed. That was for all three of the consent items. Any matters from the commissioners? None. Okay, hearing none, we will adjourn this meeting of the Garden Grove Housing Authority, and we will have it until the next meeting on September 27th, 2022, 5:30 p.m.
Alrighty, we will now reconvene the Garden Grove City Council meeting. Takes us on to presentations, and we do have 2 community spotlights, so we'll start with 1A.
Item 1A is a community spotlight in recognition of the City of Hope, Orange County Lanier Foundation Cancer Center, and Ms. Lisa Kim will be reading the spotlight tonight.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. This evening, the City of Garden Grove is pleased to recognize City of Hope for the opening of its new 250,000 square foot academic cancer treatment and research center in Orange County. If a representative from the City of Hope is present, please come forward. The The City of Hope is known for their world-renowned experts for treating complex, rare, and aggressive forms of cancer. The new center, called City of Hope Orange County Leonard Foundation Cancer Center, the outpatient facility will provide multidisciplinary cancer care ranging from prevention to surgery to survivorship within a single site. According to their website, the new center will also offer capabilities previously unavailable within the region, such as Pioneer Integrative Medicine Program that will bring together Western medicine and evidence-based complementary therapies, such as mind-body techniques and acupuncture. City of Hope decided to expand into Orange County region because nearly 20% of its residents with cancer have left the area for advanced care, with many heading to the City of Hope main campus in Doherty, California, a 2-hour commute each way. City of Hope answered the call and extended its personal care and life-saving treatments closer to home for the county's 3.2 million residents. At this time, the council and mayor would like to present City of Hope with a certificate in appreciation for their commitment to patient care. Hope is truly here in Orange County and Garden Grove, thanks, City of Hope.
They may be in the overflow room. Yeah.
It's possible that they may not have made it this evening. They've had a lot of commitments, and so if they're not in the overflow room, we'll move to the next item.
Yeah, the overflow room is overflowing as well, so.
Nope.
No? Okay, go on ahead to 1B.
Item 1B is a community spotlight in recognition of the West Grove Scrappers for their 2022 Central C District Championship. And Ms. Lisa Kim is here to read the community spotlight.
And they are in the overflow room.
Great.
They're probably scrapping right now.
All right, the Garden Grove City Council is pleased to recognize the West Grove Girls Softball League for their 2022 Central C District Championship. With the West Grove Scrappers, manager Tu Tran, head coach Danny Tran, and assistant coaches Tony Garcia, Brett Montgomery, and Gino Pena. Please come forward. I see they're all here. Coaches here?
Coaches are bringing up the rear.
The West Grove Girls Softball League promotes the skills and abilities for the fast-pitch recreational softball. This past June, West Coast Scrappers competed against Elisa Vigil and took home the 2022 Central C District Championship with a score of 8-0. Great job, young ladies. The West Coast Scrapper also took third place out of 31 teams at the state level. Coach Montgomery shared their tournament run consists of a 27-7 record with a first place finish, a second place finish, 2 third place finishes, the Central District Championship, third place at the state level, and the top 10 finish in the regionals.
Very good.
At this time, the mayor and the city council would like to present the West Coast Scrappers with certificates in recognition of their championship. The city of Garden Grove is extremely proud of their accomplishments, and we wish them all well and the very best in their future athletic endeavors. Congratulations.
I know, exactly. I don't know.
Where's your things?
I don't need it.
down there?
No, it's okay. There's
You
so
want us
many.
to
Yeah,
come down?
because they come all in too.
Okay, now stand on stool. Sitting on stand in the background.
Maybe you need to land them a stool.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, come on, you're not going to sit on that.
He could stand behind it. Yay.
The coaches will get behind you.
See? Now I need to stand in there.
Michelle. There you go.
Do you want me to record and you take pictures? Okay.
Okay, now I need to
I'll record.
Now we need
raise
to
my
tiptoe.
heel.
No, you're fine.
Don't worry about it. No, you're good.
All right, big smiles, friends. Say cheese. Cheese. Beautiful. All right, can everyone look over here real quick? Thank you. Good job, guys. Can you just grab this chair? Yes. You girls want to do scrappers on 3? Go. All right, our pitchers, start it off. Let's do it, girls.
Be in a circle.
They're all nervous.
Coach is in there too.
There, we'll put her.
Scrappers, go.
Scabbers on 3. Scabbers on 3.
So,
Well done, girls. Well done.
my name is Tway Tran. I was the manager for the Scrapper teams. So I just want to thank the girls for all their hard work and dedication. If anyone know, they came down from the top. They came from the bottom to the top all the time. They played hard, played with their hearts out, and they made us very proud. They made the city of Garden Grove very proud. So we're very proud of you. Most of the girls I don't see anymore because either they moved up or went to a different league. But know that you guys made us proud and made memories forever. Congratulations.
Now it's time for ice cream.
We'll give them all a few minutes to clear up. Alrighty, we shall proceed. I'm actually going to pull a couple items out of order before we get to oral communications, which will be lengthy. So I'd ask if we can pull item 3A from the consent calendar forward first. This is to adopt the proclamation recognizing September as Hunger Action Month in Garden Grove. Can I please make a motion to bring that
Second it.
consent item forward? Okay. Thank you. Call the vote.
I have to get my mouse to work. Motion received, 6 yes votes.
Alrighty, and then may I ask Mark Lowry, Director of OC Food Bank, to come forward and please receive a proclamation.
Chair? Okay, fine, chair.
That's good,
All
yeah.
right,
That's
that was
fine,
good.
yeah, okay.
That'll work.
Mayor and City Council, I appreciate receiving this on behalf of not just our organization, but the Orange County Hunger Alliance. That's a partnership with the Orange County Food Bank, Second Harvest Food Bank of Orange County, and Abound Food Care. But we've been proud to call Garden Grove home for 23 years. Many of you have invested sweat equity in our warehouse, helping make sure that that food gets distributed to people in need. Yeah, at the height of the COVID crisis, 500,000 people in Orange County were receiving food from the Orange County Food Bank each month. But even in the best of times, we serve over 200,000 people each month. The people that are working but on a fixed income, the working poor, as we described, seniors on fixed incomes, persons with a disability, and others. So we've always appreciated the partnership with the City of Garden Grove, and thank you for shining a spotlight on the issue of hunger. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you, Mark and OC Food Bank, for all the wonderful work that you do in our community. Thank you, and thanks for coming. One other item I'd like to move forward, which is from Matters, is item 6A, and I'll hand it over to Tuha to announce and bring her item forward.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. For item 6A, tonight, I would like to support in recognizing August as American Muslim Appreciation and Awareness Month in Garden Grove. As you know, Garden Grove is home to an internationally renowned mosque that can be boast of multiple members who are prominent and who make significant contributions to their home city and the state of California. I motion to adopt the proclamations before you tonight, recognizing August in Garden Grove as American Muslim Appreciation and Awareness Month, and respectfully request a second from my colleagues. And as we moving forward, it would be our annual proclamations as we moving forward, right?
I'll second.
it.
Need to pull it forward, though, vote for that first?
Yes. Yeah, she just motioned and a second, so.
To move forward, to
So
vote.
I'll call for a vote.
Thank you.
Motion received, 6 yes votes.
Tuha, would you like to do the honors of presenting the proclamation?
Thank you. And I would like to invite the representative come up to accept the proclamation.
Dr. Siddiqui, please, yeah. Please.
Okay, item number 52.
Oh, one more. One more.
Sorry.
honorable council members. It's an honor to receive this recognition. I want to thank, on behalf of the Islamic Society of Orange County, on behalf of the Orange Crescent School, its principal is here, and all the members of the Islamic Society of Orange County who are present here. I want to thank the city of Garden Grove, recognizing the long services of the Muslim community to this city, wonderful city, garden really, of people of different races and colors and religions living together in peace and harmony. Islamic Society has been in existence over 50 years, and I've been serving the society for almost 41 years now. So I'm really honored that you have recognized that. I appreciate your appreciation. We were last month, our mayor was there in our special festival that we had in the city of Garden Grove. Thank you very much. Thank you all of you for your support and for your cooperation. We wish you all the best and pray for God's blessings on the city of Garden Grove. And we have our chairman, our principal, our chairman, Mr. Akhtar Alam is here, and also president of the school board, Rami Khoraki, president of the masjid board, Hassan Siddiqui, and of course my wife and my grandson and granddaughter, mashallah, all of them are here. Thank you so much for wonderful. On behalf of the whole community, we appreciate and we express our thanks to the city. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And as the principal of Orange Crescent School, we're celebrating our 40th year. We're always very appreciative of all the support of Garden Grove. We have an amazing relationship with all of the city, the police. They're always there for us. We appreciate it as a school, as a growing school, knowing that Garden Grove is always there for us. And we appreciate the diversity that we share in our community and our community as a whole. So thank you.
Thank you.
Peace and blessings be upon all of you tonight. My name is Zainab Abdulghani. I'm the Senior Manager of Programs and Community Organizing at CARE Greater LA. We just want to thank you all so much. Thank you to the City Council. Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem, for this amazing opportunity. I grew up as a post 9/11 kid, not that much older than the City Grove scrappers that were here a few minutes ago when 9/11 happened. And so to be here in this place where the Muslim community has been explicitly honored and recognized, and especially our amazing Islamic Society of Orange County, which is the oldest and largest center here in the region. Our senior scholar, Dr. Muzammil Siddiqui, who is such a beloved teacher and mentor to all of us, and the Orange Crescent School, which is really an example and a paragon of education for our community. We are so proud of our community. We are really honored by this initiative, and we look forward to this being the beginning of many more engagements around diversity, equity, and inclusion, around working with immigrants and refugees, around addressing COVID-19 disparities, and many more issues. So thank you again so much, and we look forward to more engagement to come.
Thank you all very much for all the wonderful work you do and being part of our great community. I welcome you, by the way, to go ahead and clear out if you like, because after this, we're going to dive into filling potholes and doing business items in the meeting. And
it's all
you
the
might
boring
feel
stuff
stuck
coming up.
if you don't. So I'll go ahead and let's pause for just a minute and allow you guys all to go ahead and move on. Thank you so much for coming.
Can we take 5 minutes?
Please hang tight. We'll take. Whoops. Please hang tight. We'll take a 5-minute break. we're going to, where are we at? We're going to oral communications. I do have a number of cards, so this will take a while to get through. We want to hear from all of you. I would ask, that we're going to stick to a very strict, no more than 3-minute timeline by the city clerk will be doing a timer. And please resist the temptation to repeat same points that we've already heard from other speakers. So any kind of consolidation you could do for a spokesman to give any remarks would be helpful. Just an effort of moving everything along, because we do have a lot of other business to attend to as well tonight. So we'll dive into oral communications. First speaker is Anna Parker.
Hi, thank you very much for the opportunity. I have been here a few times about the same issue. We are on a lot that has a diagonal line without any need for it since 67 years. And now new neighbors started building. At first we went there and we saw that there was a line, and we intended to buy that little line so we could make it even. So for months the line was there. They were supposed to build a wall before anything, and they just started building the front extension and the back ADU. They are crooked because of the original line that was crooked without any need for. And they never built the wall, and they built the crooked ADU. It's too close. I had to pay $14,000 for a surveyor to show that it was too close. And now we are having the issue with the front extension because it's totally different from any other house on the street. It does not respect what it says, the R1 zoning. It has nothing to do with the neighborhood similarity. And that house is just too close to us, and it depreciates the value of our house, and it threatens our safety, because now we want to build a wall. They have the 5 feet. We don't. We have 3.7, and we have only 1 foot to get through that side. So we cannot even build a wall there. We also intended to build 2 ADUs according to the R1 zone to help everybody on the community and ourselves. But now we cannot even have safety enough on that corner of the house. We try to reach them, we try to serve them, and we have been trying to have the help of you guys here. And I want to thank very much for the opportunity that you are having, because at least you're telling us what to do and how to proceed, and that it was a zoning misunderstanding, and zoning department is already working on it, so that does not happen to others. So I'm doing my best, and I thank you very much for at least trying to help us also. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you. Tom Raber.
November 4th, 1986, Proposition 63 passed and created Article 3, Section 6 of the California Constitution and made English the official language of the state, requiring that no law may be passed that ignores or diminishes this role, and provides for any resident or person doing business in the state to sue the state to enforce these provisions. This was voted by we the people 36 years ago. July 27th, 2021, here at the Garden Grove Council meeting, resolution number 3804-21, to authorize the imposition of liens and parcels with neglected payments for refuse collection and disposal services charged from Republic Services. Kim Nguyen added public notices and the lien letter from Republic Services to be in other languages. All above passed. Last week, I and all Garden Grove residents received a white envelope from Republic Services. In it, we have a sticker that tells you where to put your chicken bones. We have a how to do trash. That actually says Garden Grove on it. We have a legal document from Garden Grove that's dated August 12th of 2022. Front page is English. Next page is another language. Next page is another language. And next page is another language. I did not request for any other languages to be sent to my household, as I have never requested to have ballots mailed to my house. Why would a government send a legal document through a company that they have a contract with? Garden Grove is a customer of Republic Services. The residents are not. Why does the Garden Grove document have 3 other languages than English? I am here again before the last 3 times here at the Garden Grove Council meeting on 9.18.150.1.10. I've emailed twice. I handed publicly emails during this council meeting, and they never received it.
Thank you. Please wrap up.
Today is 91 days from the original email. Who's your puppet master? And Tom is out.
Katie Finch.
Hi, good evening. My name is Katie. I am a longtime resident with my husband, Scott. We've been here for 27 years. Live on Robert Lane off of Chapman, and just wanted to express a few concerns about some things that I've noticed in my neighborhood over the last several years. First is vehicle traffic inside and outside the neighborhood. We've noticed an increase in traffic where there are cars that are lined up 5 deep to turn onto Chapman, and several cars at a time turning onto Robert Lane, because it is a thoroughfare from Orangewood to Chapman, and they move really fast. These cars are sometimes going 30, 40 miles an hour. Neighborhood construction and density garage conversions have become common. So we're seeing, sometimes 10, 12 people in one home, and maybe 6, 7 cars parked outside the home and on the lawn and in the driveway, which is also leaving big, thick oil puddles all over our neighborhood. It's also, there's been a lot of construction that's been taking a long time. It's been taking months because of permit times and lead times for inspections. Another one is home maintenance and curb appeal. There's poorly maintained residential front yards that resemble desert wastelands with weeds that are 3 feet high, along with dead trees and limbs that are kind of a safety concern with the kids that are playing in the area. Trash containers that are overflowing with garbage because of the density in each house. They're just overflowing, and they go onto the street and it's just left there. So it would be nice if some of these houses that have a certain number of people could have 2 or 3 containers. The transient incursion. Transients often walk onto Robert Lane from Chapman and leave their hypodermic needles, aerosol cans from huffing, and other trash in front of our homes where children play. Multiple incidents of human feces, soiled toilet paper have been in the gutter from transients using our neighborhood as a personal toilet. So this happened just yesterday again, and it's happening frequently where they're standing on the curb and squatting into the gutter. And we've also noticed that with the mattresses that are laying all over the neighborhood, we've had transients pull them into the shrubbery. I walk a lot in the morning, sometimes at 4:45, and it was 10 to 5, and I had a lady jump out and say, "Do you have a lighter?" And she was curled up on a mattress inside the shrubbery. And it startled me so bad, I went home and got my car and told her she needed to get a move on. But there's pictures in there that will address that, and other pictures. So thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Have a great evening.
Ernesto Medrano.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the council, executive staff. Kind of good to see everybody in person. My name is Ernesto Medrano. I represent the Los Angeles and Orange Counties Building and Construction Trades Council. We're about 140,000 strong and hardworking men and women. I want to thank the city for the partnership that we have, the Community Workforce Agreement, and I want to talk a little bit more about that concept in a minute. We recognize also and commend the city for providing business opportunities and incentivizing businesses to come and be constructed, such as the hotels and whatnot. But we also believe that we need to codify those opportunities for the local residents and their workforce. I'm not going to speak in favor or against the item on 4A per se, because I think it's more along the lines, but I do want to say is that we're very eager and we look forward to enter into robust negotiations with the developer of the Campsite Company. I think it's pretty well known that we've already been building some hotels in the resort area. We built the Westin Anaheim Resort that had a transit occupancy tax incentive rebate, and that beautiful hotel stands now, and I think many of you have seen it there. We also have an agreement with the same company, the Wincom, at the 1700 South Harbor Boulevard. We also have entered negotiation with the OC Vibe. They're building some hotels as well, and having conversation with the Catella Gateway, meaning that is a standard of the resort area here. Having agreements with the building trades to construct. Now, I think the attributes of having these agreements, and I know we talked about it during the Community Workforce Agreement, is that you get true local veteran preference hire. There's no other way that our crafts could dispatch workers and be able to cherry pick the list, so to speak, and send you residents of the Garden Grove, Orange County, as well as veterans for our Hello Mr. Hard Hats program. I think that also, obviously, we're looking at high school graduates of the community, and we'd like to look at that if we can codify that in an agreement with the developer as well. Obviously, it's prevailing wage. We have no numbers in our wage agreement, so it'll be the prevailing wage, which is already required on the basis of what's required because of the TOT incentive, if that tends to happen. So we think that the city deserves to get its community benefits. If you're going to incentivize the business and also give the opportunity to those workers and get the best skilled and trained workers to build this hotel, and also open up opportunities for young men and women in Garden Grove to enter our apprenticeship. And there's no better pathway to the middle class and without a college degree, but to come through our apprenticeship program. So with that, thank you very much.
Darren Lee. And then followed by Tuan Bowie.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of Garden Grove. I'm one of the veterans that he spoke about coming through the Help Mr. Hard Hats program. Just being able to serve your community will help me keep food on my table for my family and keep my brothers and sisters working with my union brothers and my force station brothers and sisters working also. So thank you.
Thank you. Tuan Bowie, followed by Ernesto Rodriguez.
Good evening. My name is Tuan, and I'm resident in Garden Grove since 2013. I think I'm here second time. I just want to talk about the local hire for the project here, PLA. I used to go work too far from Garden Road to Santa Monica every day for the whole years. I wish I can have a job close home, and I wish you can vote yes for the PLA. Thank you.
Thank you. Ernesto, and then followed by Bridget McConaughey.
Good evening. My name is Ernest Rodriguez, and here representing the ironworkers. And Like he talked about the graduates. I grew up here. I'm born and raised from Garden Grove. I'm class of 2015 from Santiago High School, and I feel like I have the right, hopefully, to work in my city that I call my backyard. And I travel far every day, LA and back, 3 hours of traffic, ain't no joke, And it would be very nice to work here. Not only me, but my brothers and sisters as well. And I'm just hoping we can get that chance. And thank you for your time.
Thank you. Bridget, and then followed by Allison.
Hello, Honorable City Council. My name is Bridget McConaughey, and I am here representing Unite Here Local 11, Hospitality Workers Union, representing workers in LA, Orange County, and Arizona, which includes about 400 members living in Garden Grove, including co-appellant Marlene Perez. We filed this appeal in late July. The city released their staff report on Friday, which included the final MMD which responded to our appeal. In that short time, we secured 3 expert co-letters. We object to this project for 3 reasons. First, the project site is zoned for a mix of uses, which includes higher density residential. Amidst a statewide and regional housing crisis, hotel developments with 0 housing are inappropriate. In 2002, the council approved this site for 2 hotels, including 483 rooms. Since then, the 285-room Sheraton was built, and that means that the second hotel should contain about 200 rooms. Now, the developer is asking for a more than 500-room hotel, essentially adding 300 more rooms to what was already approved. Instead of an expanded hotel, why is the city not considering a housing proposal, or at least a housing component on this site, which includes 6 city parcels designated under the city's general plan for higher density and residential housing? Our second objection is related to the severe environmental impacts that we believe requires an EIR. Our attorney will be expounding on that more going forward. And the third, we also object to the fact that the city council is not considering the PUD along with the development agreement as a package. To the extent that the impacts remain significant from the environmental analysis, the city needs to consider overriding considerations. These measures and alternatives that could include robust online transit site subsidies, carpooling incentives, and inclusions of deeply needed housing and other measures that would reduce the project impacts and could be memorialized in a development agreement. Yet the city is leaving all of these options off the table, and these could mitigate the effects. Where is the development agreement, council members? For these reasons, we urge the city to reject the MND and to stay the approval of this project until an EIR, which is the appropriate CEQA review under the law, can be completed. When the city and their region are in a housing crisis, it begs the question why the city is rushing through this approval process and not considering any housing component on the city land, and not considering the development agreement in conjunction with the other approvals. Respectfully, the city needs housing, not a bigger hotel with a potentially greater environmental impact that does nothing to address the city's need for housing.
Thank you. Please wrap up.
Yes, you have the discretion to disapprove the PUD. Please use it and demand more for city stakeholders. Thank you.
Allison, and then followed by Paige Patterson. Sorry.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council members. My name is Allison Vo. I'm here representing Bit Rise, a community nonprofit organization based in Garden Grove. We advance social justice and build power with working class Vietnamese and immigrant communities in Orange County, and I'm also a Garden Grove resident. I speak today in opposition to Agenda Item 4A and urge you to vote against the proposal for the development of the Nickelodeon Hotel Resort. While it may seem tempting to approve a project that seems on the surface to boost the local economy by promoting tourism to the city, we have major concerns about the potential impact to Garden Grove residents. Many residents are not currently aware of the plans to build a 3.72-acre hotel resort with 500 hotel rooms on what is currently still city-owned land, and it is crucial to conduct outreach and allow residents to give their full input on the project beyond a single neighborhood meeting in April 2022 that only had 16 people in attendance. There has yet to be an environmental impact report to clearly explain to residents how the potential greenhouse gas will impact our community. Transparency to residents and community stakeholders throughout the process to approve this project must be a priority. Furthermore, it is concerning that the project site was a previous location of single-family homes and commercial structures that were demolished between 2004 and 2013. While there are other residential areas surrounding the project site, the housing in the area was reduced and still has not been replaced, despite us facing a statewide and regional housing crisis. The development of this hotel resort would ensure that no other housing would be built in the area to replace those that were demolished. Since the project site is zoned for a variety of uses, including higher density residential, it is important that those options for increasing access to affordable housing are at the very least explored in depth, especially amidst a housing crisis. We need more affordable homes, not hotels with no housing included. And we have seen time and time again in other local cities and even here in Garden Grove, when developments like this increase housing costs for residents to unaffordable prices and displace them from their homes. This displacement is already happening to Garden Grove residents, many of whom are working class Vietnamese and Latino immigrants and refugees. It is critical for the city of Garden Grove to consider its hand in this displacement and its residents and make decisions to further prevent the gentrification of the city. So for these reasons, Vit Rises urges you to reconsider the impact of this development on Garden Grove residents and vote no on agenda item 4A. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Paige. I've been a barista for 9 years, and I've been a resident of Garden Grove for the past 4 years. I urge you to reject this project and uphold the appeal. We would need a development agreement and a full environmental impact report to address the impacts of a project like this. With so much traffic coming in and out, we need to be able to encourage workers and to use public transportation with programs like giving free bus passes and incentives to carpool to employees. This would help people like me get to work while decreasing the traffic and pollution from the project. Say no to the Site B2 hotel. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Melissa Partida. I'm a resident for Garden Grove for 14 years. And please uphold this appeal and deny the project. I am concerned about the potential greenhouse gas impact this project could be having in our community. Thank you.
Sorry about that. Inez Guzman. Isabel Barrera.
Inez and Isabel have submitted public comments on their cards.
Got it. Okay, same with well, there's no name. April Chavez, same with no name. Okay, Jordan Sasson. Jordan?
Overflow.
Okay.
It's coming in.
Okay.
Good evening, Mayor, Honorable City Council members. My name is Jordan Sisson. I'm a SEQA attorney representing appellants you heard earlier today. As you also heard, we did submit 3 expert comment letters today in response to Friday's staff report. We apologize for not getting them to you sooner. Unfortunately, we had 2 full business days. That's it. In my limited time, which is only 3 minutes, I'm going to highlight some of those points in those comments submitted today. 1, the staff report claims my clients don't have standing. That is incorrect. Our appeal includes Local 11, who has public interest standing, also an individual that under the code has standing. 2, this is an MND, which is subject to the fair argument standard. It's not an EIR, it's not substantial evidence, it's fair argument. This is a low threshold. That means if there's substantial evidence that there is a significant impact, you need to do an EIR. Substantial evidence under CEQA includes expert comments. That includes the 3 expert comment letters we submitted, as well as our fact-specific, project-specific comments submitted in July. Please ask your very able city attorney about this low threshold standard that this project's subject to. Third, our VMT expert acknowledges that the city is claiming that it's using a screening threshold to provide no VMT modeling whatsoever. This is incorrect. According to our expert, this is inconsistent with the city's VMT guidelines. This is inconsistent with the State Office of Planning and Research guidelines, which the city's VMT guidelines are based off of, and also inconsistent with the city or the CEQA guidelines. It makes very clear that when there is substantial evidence of an impact, you're not supposed to use that presumption of lessening significance because a project's in what's called a TPA. Here there are tons of substantial evidence. This project, by the M&D's own admission, could potentially generate over 5,000 average daily trips, over 3 million annual VMTs, and admittedly, this is not a local serving hotel. This is regional. This is an event-inducing, regional-inducing project. And additionally, the response that we saw on Friday said, hey, you're supposed to do an OC modeling. No, that was the M&D's responsibility of providing that modeling, consistent with not only the city, but also the state and CEQA guidelines. My fourth point is our air quality expert, Dr. Fox. In her comments, she identified several M&D flaws that underestimated construction air quality impacts. This includes NOx, PM 2.5, and PM 10. One of those examples is that the M&D modeled, assuming that construction engines would be Tier 4 final, which is far more superior than Tier 4 interim engines, which is all that this project is required to do. That's about one of the issues that our air quality expert found in this analysis. Fifth, our greenhouse gas expert, Ray Capia. Here, the M&D is saying we're going to do a South Coast AQMD Tier 4 threshold. They decided to use that. However, then they proceed to use what's called a BAU, business as usual methodology. However, be real quickly, BAU, Newhall Ranch, disavowed it. Plus, the city knows what a Tier 4 performance standards are. You've done it before just last year. That's not what you have here. And lastly, we just found out before this meeting that there's new GHG and traffic study. We had no opportunity to discuss that. Thank you for your time and best of luck.
Thank you. Andrew White.
Hello, everybody. I'm a resident of Garden Grove and also a local union iron worker. And currently, most of us from this area are doing 2 to 4 hour commutes per day, one way. And what this would do if we got it to be in our backyard we'd be able to spend time with our families, but would also help us learn the craft closer to home. We could have something that we could show our children, our wives, our husbands, or whatever, that we could be proud of. You know, like, hey, we just built this over here. Hey, we built this over here. But currently, we'd have to go on a field trip to show them something that we're proud of that we built. As an apprentice, I'm a 5th period. This would be easily enough work to get me through my program. And I don't know how many other people in this local area they call Garden Grove home. So, like, we learn rigging, we learn welding, we learn erection, bolting, pretty much everything we need to give quality work in the future. So it's not just benefiting Garden Grove, it's benefiting everywhere. So without giving us this local work, we're going to be doing all these commutes, and we're not going to have any time for our families, any time for going to the hall to do some extra studies on like welding, hands-on. We're burnt out. By the time we get home, we just want to go to sleep and get ready for the next day. So by giving us the opportunity to stay local, we have all these different opportunities, not just a job. It's more than a job. It's like a lifestyle that we're going to be able to provide and continue to learn and teach, and something that we're going to be able to be proud of, and something that we're going to be able to show everybody. Like when you drive by something, you're like, hey, yeah, I built that. You know, hey, you know, I built that. You know, it's not just work. It's something that we're proud to do, and we don't take it lightly. Every one of us back here are just trying to do something that we're proud to do, and continue to like build on our own knowledge, and we need that. Thank you.
Cyrus Smith, followed by Maria Ortiz. Cyrus or Cerise? Ah.
Oh my gosh, there are so many people here. Good evening. We just wanted to introduce ourselves. My name is Cerise Smith, and this is Isabel Stevens. And we just wanted to let you all know that we are your librarians here in the city of Garden Grove. I am relatively new, and Isabel is very new. I'm with the Garden Grove Main Library. Isabel is at the Garden Grove Chapman branch. And we simply wanted to introduce ourselves and let you know that we're here to serve you, and we're here to serve the city of Garden Grove. We wanted to let everyone know that the library is completely open for business again. We have started doing in-person programming again, as well as all the other wonderful services that you're used to. So thank you very much, and we hope to see you at the library.
Maria Ortiz.
Hola, buenas noches. Mi nombre es María. Soy miembro de la local 11 y he sido residente en Garden Grove durante los 15 años.
Hello, my name is Maria Ortiz, and I'm a member of Unite Here Local 11, and I've been a resident of Garden Grove for over 15 years.
Estoy aquí para instarles a que voten no a este proyecto.
I am here to eager you to vote no on this project.
Nuestra tierra pública debe de usarse para abordar nuestros mayores problemas.
Our public land should be used to address our biggest problem.
El costo de la vivienda para trabajadores como yo aumenta cada año.
The cost of housing for workers like me raise every year.
Durante esta crisis de vivienda necesitamos viviendas, no hoteles. Sin vivienda incluida, le pido que apoye la apelación y rechace este proyecto para que podamos aprobar uno que se adapte mejor a nuestras necesidades.
During this housing crisis, we need homes, not hotels with no housing included. I ask you to support an appeal and reject this project so that we can approve one that better serves our needs. Thank you.
Thank you. Gracias.
Is there anyone else wishing to speak who did not submit a pink card or who I may have overlooked? Yeah, please come forward, sir.
Good afternoon, council members. My name is Luis. I am representing the Orange County Labor Federation. First, I want to thank all of you for supporting the CWA earlier. Feels like 2 years ago, but it's been less than that. COVID does that. But thank you for unanimously supporting that and supporting our hardworking men and women. Like my colleague Ernest Rodriguez said, we're not here to speak on support or against a project. We're just to argue that if this project were to move forward, please consider supporting a CWA for this project. We need to make sure that local jobs stay in Garden Grove, are built by Garden Grove residents with local hire and veteran preference. This would further increase the value of the community. It also will allow for families to stay local, work local, and be local and show pride in Garden Grove. So once again, arguing that you support a CWA for this project, it will be helpful. As you can see, we have a lot of residents here and we're standing behind them. And thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, City Council, Doug Mangione, IBW. This is going to be, colleagues that know me, the briefest I've ever been. I'm going to ditto everything Ernesto Madrano said. So we're doing what he did. We're with the building trades on this.
May I put one thing about the hotel thing? I am graduated on tourism. I went to 7 different universities before graduating on tourism, and it involves a lot of people are going to be hired, and it involves events, and it's very important to have the hotel support, and we are already working on the R1 to give the community the support on housing that they need. So I think that Garden Grove is working very well, distributing and taking care of both issues. So the hotel might be a good idea once the R1 is being already worked on. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council. My name is Johnny Escobedo. I'm a business agent for Ironworkers Local 416. We ask that you consider the CWA for multiple reasons, like our membership has said. You know what? They have to travel 2 to 4 hours for work. They're losing time with their families. More so, by approving the CWA, you're keeping your money within your own community. So this money is being reinvested into your own community. What better way to spend your tax dollars than to reinvest it? You know, a lot of our membership lives in this area, and in order for our members to work local, it's got to be a CWA. We have a list that we go off of that we can work our employees from. So we urge and we ask that you seriously consider the CWA or PLA for us. Thank you very much.
Is she coming up to speak? Go ahead.
Good evening. My name's Kyle Mason. I live here in Garden Grove, right off of Chapman and Gilbert. You guys have helped me out quite a bit, and I appreciate it. I wanted to tell Mr. O'Neill, they shut down the animal hospital next to us, and hopefully they take care of things properly. They're having problems with the women's club. There's a lot of traffic over there. They got Stephen out of the cell phone tower, and I appreciate that very much. Seems like the drug traffic has gone down to 50%. But we still have some other issues with a lot of the homeless and people going through our apartment complexes and stuff. Last night at 1 o'clock in the morning, I caught a guy trying to break into the garages, and I had to chase him down. And we need to put a stop to a lot of this. I know Mr. Durfee, he used to counsel me and talk to me about things, but I haven't heard from that man in quite a while. And I had a word with his mother about his son, Sean. I heard through the grapevine he threatened my life. I would discuss it with her, and the next thing I know, I had the police coming up to me telling me not to go down there anymore. Well, I'm going to tell everybody, unless there's a restraining order, I'm going where I please. They need to talk to these people and get them straightened out. They also have a truck parked in front of their house. It's been there for over 3 weeks. It's a brown Ford with Arizona tags. There's people living in that Ford. What does it take to get these people out of there? We've tried. The police have come out. Nobody's done anything. We'd like to get it cleaned up. The other thing is 9381, the wall in the back needs to be repaired. If there's an opportunity to get that wall, it's a toss-up between the county and the city. But if they could at least come out and take a look at it, get those blocks replaced and build the wall back up, it'd really be appreciated. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Laura Fodor. I'm a hotel worker for 19 years, and I'm very concerned about the traffic, what this project will gonna bring for the next couple of years. The impact of the air quality. There could be an average of more than 5,000 trips every day if this project will be built. That's a lot of traffic. Workers like me already have enough trouble getting to and from work. To do really, we need more. Please uphold the appeal and reject the project. Thank you.
All right, anyone else wishing to speak? I do not have any more cards.
I speak again?
No, thank you.
Oh. Somebody else did. I can speak twice.
All righty. So we will wrap up oral communications. In a minute, we're going to recess and go to other agencies' work. Let's take a 3-minute pause just in case anyone wants to clear out at this point in time, and then we'll come back and we'll dive into the business on our agenda. Thanks. Hello? All right. Sorry about that. Okay, we will reconvene the city council meeting. Next, we will be recessing to the other agencies, so we'll go to successor agency. Madam Clerk, can you please call roll?
Member Bridegan?
Here.
Member Deidre Nguyen?
Here.
Member Klopfenstein?
Here.
Member Kim Nguyen?
Here.
Vice Chair Bowie? And Chair Jones?
Here.
And Member O'Neill is absent.
All right, we already did oral communications simultaneously with other legislative bodies. Moves us on to consent. All we have is receive and file the minutes. Can I get a motion?
Motion. Motion.
Second it. Call to vote.
My mouse is not being operative.
There we go.
Motion received, 6 yes votes.
Any matters from successor agency members? Seeing none, we will adjourn and go to sanitary district. President O'Neill is absent, so I'll hand it over to Vice President Deidre Tuhawin.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So we already did the oral communications held simultaneously with other legislative bodies. We're going to move on to consent items. Can I have motion for it?
Move the motion.
And
Second.
I call the vote.
Motion received, 6 yes votes.
Any matters from the members and general manager?
We didn't do a roll call, our
Oh.
attendance.
I forgot the roll call. Sorry. Go back to Terry.
Member Bridegan?
Here.
Member Bowie?
Here.
Member Jones?
Here.
Member Klopfenstein?
Here.
Member Kim Nguyen?
Here.
And Vice President Deidre Nguyen.
Here. I apologize. I did jump. Okay. We have no matters, so the meeting will be adjourned. The next regular sanitary district meeting is going to be scheduled on Tuesday, September 27, 2022, at 5:30 p.m. in the Community Meeting Center.
Alrighty, thank you. We will reconvene City Council. That takes us on to consent items. We already pulled item 3A forward, so it's recommended that items 3B through 3F be acted on simultaneously unless anyone would like to pull an item. Any pulls?
Second.
Second.
Call the vote.
Motion received, 6 yes votes.
All right. That takes us on to public hearings. We do have one item listed tonight, item 4A.
Item 4A is adoption of resolutions to approve the development of the Site B2 Hotel Project Nickelodeon Hotel Resort, deny the appeal filed by Unite Here Local 11 and Marlene Perez for the Planning Commission's actions regarding the Site B2 Hotel Project, adopt a mitigated negative declaration and mitigation monitoring and reporting program for the project, approval of site plan number SP 107-2022, and the introduction and first reading of an ordinance approving planned unit development number PUD 14101A, entitled An Ordinance of the City Council of the City of Garden Grove approving an amendment to planned unit development number PUD 14101 to create a sub-area planned unit development zoning PUD 14101A, establishing development standards and performance standards for the Site B2 Hotel Project for properties located at the northwest corner of Harbor Boulevard and Twin Tree Avenue, east of Tamerlane Drive, at 12241, 12261, 12271, 12291, 12311, and 12323, and 12321 Harbor Boulevard, 12246, 12252, 12262, 12282, 12292, 12312, 12322, 12251, 12261, 12281, 12291, 12311, and 12321 Thackeray Drive. Assessor parcel numbers 231 47106, 07, 08, 09, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24.
You deserve a drink of water for that. Yeah.
And Ms. Para is here, from the Planning Division, is here to give the presentation.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Mayor and members of the City Council. We do have a PowerPoint presentation associated with this agenda item. So for your consideration tonight is a request to redevelop the site B2 Hotel project site with the Nickelodeon Hotel Resort. So the project site is delineated in red and is located on the northwest corner of Harbor Boulevard and Twin Tree Avenue east of Tamerlane Drive. So the project site includes a total of 19 parcels, including Thackeray Drive and the public alley, which will be vacated by the City Council and incorporated into the project site. The properties currently have a zoning of PUD 14101, which are these properties here, as well as R1 single-family residential. In 2002, the City Council approved PUD 14101, which encompasses the property to the north, which is developed with the Sheraton Hotel, as well as these 13 properties that are part of the project site to facilitate the development of 2 hotels. The first hotel was developed with the Sheraton Hotel. However, the second hotel was not developed since both the developer and the city envisioned a larger hotel resort, and which by the additional properties were required just on the on the west side of Thackeray Drive in order to expand the project area. So the proposed includes amending the PUD 14101 to expand the project area of the PUD to incorporate these additional properties in order to create a sub-area PUD in order to facilitate the development of the Site B2 project with the contemplated Nickelodeon Hotel Resort. This is an aerial view of the project site and the surrounding properties. So the property is currently vacant and secured with a perimeter fence. The project will have access from the existing driveway of the Sheraton Hotel. This plan just illustrates how the project would be developed and integrated into the existing site and integrated with the Sheraton Hotel. So the existing main drive aisle would be improved in order to have access to the new Nickelodeon Hotel. The project is surrounded by residential uses to the west, including multiple family, single family. Across Twin Tree Avenue to the south, there's a combination of single family and commercial. And across the street into the east of Harbor Boulevard, there are vacant sites that are currently entitled for the Site C Hotel Resort. So the PUD sub-area will facilitate the development of the property by establishing specific development standards. So the PUD would establish regulations, which include a maximum 500-room hotel. It would also indicate the maximum square footage is allowed for ballroom meeting space, restaurant, retail, the entertainment venue, arcade, spa and fitness, and it would also include a 600-seat theater. The PUD would also establish minimum building setbacks, building height requirements, which would be determined by a shade and shadow analysis, landscaping, which would be consistent with the Harbor Boulevard resort area, would include a list of permitted uses. Required parking would be established for the PUD, and this is based on a shared parking analysis that was prepared, which determined that based on the peak parking demand, a total of 480 parking spaces would be required to accommodate the hotel and all the proposed uses. Also, the PUD would include provisions for implementation of the environmental mitigation measures. So this is the site plan that illustrates the ground level circulation of the proposed hotel. The hotel would have a total of 23 levels with 500 hotel rooms, a total of 528 parking spaces within a 5-level parking structure. So the project would have 2 entrances, one on Harbor Boulevard and a second one on Twin Tree Avenue. The drive out on Harbor Boulevard will operate or function as the main entrance. And this drive out will align with the Site C Hotel project, which would be just to the east. It would be signalized as well. So this drive out would be modified to accommodate the appropriate number of lanes to enter and exit the site. From the main drive aisle, visitors can access the parking for the Sheraton Hotel, or they could also circulate to the south and access the drop-off area for the hotel and circulate to access the parking structure ramp. Also, employees can access the rear driveway of the hotel to access the service corridor. The entrance on Twin Tree Avenue would function more as the entrance to access what the applicant calls the service corridor, and this would be limited to service vehicles. It would be also limited to trash truck access as well as to emergency vehicle access. So all guests that are access the site, including guests, visitors, employees, as well as tourist buses and shuttle buses, would access the site from Harbor Boulevard. This is a rendering of the proposed hotel. It would be a contemporary design that complements the Nickelodeon brand. It would include 23 levels. The tower feature would include a unique serpentine shape with transparent glass facade. The pool deck, which is here on the 6th level, would be themed to the SpongeBob SquarePants animation, and it would include a lazy river that transverses along the pool deck and also a pool slide, which is identified here. These are the building elevations from the east and west elevations. The hotel will have would be 335 feet in height. That was analyzed as part of the shade and shadow up to a maximum of 350 feet, and that's to accommodate any rooftop structures for the housing of mechanical equipment. The pool deck is at a height of 61 feet. This would be the pool slide. The overall height from the finished grade would be 168 feet. From the level of the pool deck, it would have a height about 100 feet above the pool deck itself. And the parking structure will be integrated into the design of the building. This is a view of the building elevations from the south and the north. So the proposed hotel is consistent with the general plan goals and also policies, which the hotel would encourage the development and expansion of hotel facilities in the Garden Grove Resort District. The hotel will encourage a wide variety of retail and commercial uses, such as restaurant entertainment, as well as encourage active and inviting pedestrian-friendly streets and environments, and would also be compatible with other hotel resort uses that are existing within the area. As part of the City Council's consideration for tonight, a CEQA environmental review was performed for the project, and the project does qualify for a mitigating negative declaration with a mitigation monitoring and reporting program. As part of the City Council's consideration, we did make additions to the final initial study mitigating negative declaration, and copies of the red line changes were provided to the City Council as well as available to the public for review. In addition, the City Council will consider an appeal filed by Unite Local 11 and Marlene Perez challenging the Planning Commission actions regarding the project, and full discussion was included in your council memo. The City Council would also be asked to consider a resolution approving site plan number SP-107, 2002 to redevelop the Site B2 project with the Nickelodeon Hotel. Therefore, City Council, you are asked to conduct a public hearing, adopt the proposed resolution denying the appeal of Unite Here Local 11 and Marlene Perez, adopt the proposed resolution adopting a mitigating negative declaration and mitigation monitoring and reporting program for the Site B2 Hotel project, introduce and conduct the first reading of an ordinance approving Plan Unit Development Number PUD-14101A, and adopt the proposed resolution contingently approving site plan number SP-107, 2022. And this concludes staff's presentation, and we are available to answer any questions.
Thank you, Maria. Any questions of staff before we open the public hearing? Okay, seeing none, we will go ahead and open the public hearing. I do not have any pink cards. Anyone who did speak already during oral communication, your comments have been noted in the record. Anyone else wishing to speak on this item? All right, thank you. Seeing none, we will go ahead and close oral communications and, we'll close the public hearing, and I'll look to my colleagues to deliberate.
Just a couple comments. This area in question, and I'm going to go back, date myself a little bit. You probably have, actually everyone here probably has some recollection of it, but going back about 25 years ago when this area was designated as a resort district. It was a tourism resort and hotel district, and that the envisioning was hotels, tourism, along the Disney corridor. And I remember it was very controversial at the time. At that point, the city decided to create that zoning in that district. And I think there was an EIR as part of that, whole envisioning effort done. I don't recall, it's 25 years ago. It wasn't dedicated as a residential district or that type of thing. So basically the city has said, this is where we want our hotels. This is where we want our tourism. This is where we want to focus on. And I think the city has reaped a lot of benefit over that over the last 25 years. And this continues that same process. To say that we're not doing our part for housing is really wrong. Not 2 miles away from this location, there's a 200-plus senior living facility being opened up in the next, month? The old Rusty Skeleton. We've got projects underway throughout the community of Garden Grove with housing. We're not neglecting our housing. We're looking at everything equally. So with that, I think this fits that area. I think it fits the community's goals for that area and the long-term vision for that area. So, I'm supportive.
I would like to echo my colleagues, George Brattingham's. I do remember serving with him in Planning Commission, and we discussed this project as well as many others, including the what used to be called the West District, meaning we want to make the harbor corridor to be resort district. And we've been through that, and the city have agreed that that would be our policy and our direction. Ever since then, I remember during the early 2000s, maybe 2010s, we purchased the land with the purpose to invest and redevelop, develop our resort district. And throughout the last many years, I've been sitting here impatient because I just see the empty lot sitting there, do not generate the revenue that we should expect to see from our investment. So I'm really glad that we finally see the light at the end of the tunnels. We need to move forward with this because a lot of our investment is tied up in that, and I would like to, to support this project moving forward. Mayor Jones.
Thank you.
I'll keep my comments brief. I just want to say, we have been excited for this project for many years. The one thing that I just want to stress personally is that I hope that we can ensure that we're implementing local hire. We definitely heard a lot of folks speaking about having to travel very far for work. Many of them are residents from Garden Grove, and one of them is a Cavalier like I am. And so I'm excited to see that they're reaching out to our high schools. They're reaching out to underserved, underprivileged, and oftentimes neglected communities in Garden Grove to ensure that they are able to get jobs that give them the opportunity to buy homes in our community, and to raise their families, and to have enough money to spend in our city and generate back taxpayer dollars for us. So I'm always willing to expend our taxpayer dollars in return to see the benefit for our community, and if that means increasing jobs and increasing local hire and increasing opportunities for our veterans, then I'm all for it. Thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem.
I just want to echo Councilmember Kim Won. I understand local hiring is very important because myself, I had to work very far away. My commute is an hour to work and 2 hours home. So I totally understand the pain of sitting in the traffic. So I think this is a good project that the city has been waiting for many, many years. And due to that, I also would like to see more local hiring, and then supporting our workers.
I forgot to mention that I was very obsessed with SpongeBob as a child, so I'm very excited to see this happen and live out my elementary school dreams. So I would love to see that happen here in our city.
Exactly. If I can,
Please.
just briefly. Obviously, it's taken a long time and a lot of work to get to where we are this evening, and this is one step in many steps ahead. But I appreciate the diligent efforts, and I appreciate everyone coming out here this evening to voice their concerns and opinions on this project. Overall, though, I think it is an amazing opportunity for the city of Garden Grove for our harbor corridor. And I'm very proud to have this project sitting in District 5 in our resort district. So with that, I'd like to make a motion.
Second it.
Thank you all. We have a motion and a second. Madam Clerk, call the vote.
And for the record, the motion is to move staff recommendation, right?
Yes.
Motion received, 6 yes votes.
Alrighty, thank you. That takes us on to commission committee matters. We do have one listed, item 5A, which is acceptance of Commissioner Kevin Ree's resignation from the Parks, Recreation, and Arts Commission. We're sorry to see him go. I believe we shall accept his resignation. It's an action item, so I'll move to accept his resignation.
Second.
Call to vote.
Motion received, 6 yes votes.
Thank you. That takes us on to matters. We already did item 6A out of order earlier. Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Deidre Tuha-Wynn, for that. And that will take us on to item 6B.
Item 6B is an update on keeping park restrooms open as requested by City Manager Stiles. And tonight, our Assistant City Manager, Maria Stipe, has some opening comments she would like to share.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Good evening, Mayor and members of the City Council. Several weeks ago, the City Council requested that staff work on a plan to reopen the city's park restrooms, many of which had been closed during the pandemic. Since that time, Public Works and Community Services have reopened the vast majority of our city park restrooms. Phil Carter, our Parks and Facilities Manager, is here tonight to provide you with an update on current efforts to keep the park restrooms open throughout the city, and also Community Services Director John Montanchez and Police Lieutenant Rich Barillo are here as well to share some of their related efforts. So I'm going to turn it over to Phil now.
Thank you, Maria. Mr. Mayor, member of the council, good evening. I'm here tonight to provide an update on keeping park restrooms open throughout the city. As you know, over the past several years, the city has experienced a sharp increase in vandalism of our park restrooms. This increase has impacted public safety, open restroom availability, and operating costs to maintain these facilities. During the pandemic lockdown, the decision was made to close all park restrooms and bring in portable restrooms and wash stations. As the city recovered from the pandemic, the decision was also made to slowly reopen 3 restrooms at a time, rotationally, 3 months at a time at different locations throughout the city, closely monitoring selected sites for vandalism and closing as necessary to make repairs. A 4th location was to continually remain open at Hastur Basin Park using county-supplied portable restrooms. This action provided public restrooms accessed at 4 parks locations from 9 a.m. to dusk. At the end of the last rotation, the open restroom locations included Hastur Basin Park, Garden Grove Park, West Grove Park, and Eastgate Park, which was temporarily closed at the time to ensure usable restrooms for the summer concert series. Unfortunately, challenges with vandalism continued. To get a sense of how other cities were responding to this issue, Community Services reached out to 22 cities surrounding Garden Grove. 11 of the 22 cities reported that they provide regular public access to park restrooms during regular operating hours. These cities are Cypress, Costa Mesa, Buena Park, Placentia, Ladera Ranch, La Habra, Lakewood, Yorba Linda, Laguna Niguel, Irvine, and Mission Viejo. The common thread among these cities is that the parks are staffed during operating hours or have outside security services monitoring the restrooms. 6 other cities reported they partially closed or modified restroom hours. Due to high rates of vandalism, hours were reduced to allow for day use of the restrooms. Some of these cities also had requests from community to close restrooms. These cities are La Palma, Laguna Hills, Brea, Tustin, Newport Beach, and Anaheim. The remaining cities had their restrooms closed or installed portable restrooms as a substitution. These cities are Rancho Santa Margarita, San Juan Capistrano, San Clemente, Stanton, and Aliso Viejo. However, I'm pleased to report that recently in July, Public Works was able to reopen the majority of the city's park restrooms, including Atlantis Park, Garden Grove Park, Edgar Park with a lockable portable, Eastgate Park, West Grove Park, Woodbury Park, Chapman Sports Complex, Pioneer Park, and Hastur Basin. Opening and locking procedures have also been revisited to ensure that each restroom is appropriately locked and unlocked each day. With existing budget and current staffing levels, Public Works intends to keep these restrooms open from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. 7 days a week, excluding holidays. However, occasionally the restrooms may require closure to address vandalism and regular maintenance. Park locations currently closed with closed restrooms are Faylane Park and Gutowski Park. Both of those had community-requested closures. West Haven Park, which is under construction with a turf renovation project, Magnolia Park, also under construction with a water reservoir project, and Hare Park. They service Little League facilities only. As construction concludes, Magnolia Park and West Haven Park will be opened and included in the schedule discussed above. In addition to the updated Public Works opening and closing schedule, all park restrooms attached to programmed or rented facilities will continue to be made available during programmed activities by the community services staff as part of the rental or programmed arrangement. Lastly, to fully restore park restrooms to include after-hours availability will require additional deterrence and budget. Moving forward, Public Works, Community Services, and the Garden Grove Police Department are looking into electronic security solutions that include camera systems, electronic door locks, lighting controls, warning alarms, increased staffing levels, and outside security systems or services to monitor the park facilities. These enhancements will be studied and evaluated in the coming months for implementation on a pilot basis and for inclusion in the upcoming biannual budget. Staff will keep the City Council updated with regular reports. That concludes my report, but I'm here to introduce John Montanchez, who would also like to comment.
Good evening, Mayor, members of the council. Yes, as Phil mentioned here, that the Community Services Department will continue to support the Public Works Department in opening and closing the restrooms for programs that are directly ran by the city or that have affiliation with local nonprofit youth programs, and any of our park shelter rentals, park building rentals, or our large picnic pavilion over at Garden Grove Park. So anytime we have a paid rental at these facilities, meaning they have come to City Hall, paid for their permit, we know as a Community Service Department know that they're going to be there. We will open up the restrooms for them up until about dusk, and that's generally done by our Park Patrol. So we will continue to do and support that. Public Works will have them open during the day. We will open up the restrooms just based on use at the park that is programmed by or permitted by the Community Services Department. And with that, I'll turn it over to Lieutenant Rich Barrio for the PD's report.
Thank you. Good evening, Mr. Mayor and City Council members. So when we talk about security systems and cameras, it's subject only because when we're talking about surveillance cameras, obviously they cannot be placed in the restrooms. So this is something that we talked about, and we decided that they're gonna be used more as a deterrent more than anything. Because the only thing we can see is the outside of the restrooms and people going into the restrooms. Obviously, we can monitor that, but, aside from that, we can't determine if at that point in time when somebody was using the restroom, were they vandalized or not. There's no way to know that. So for that reason, I think these cameras would be better suited as a deterrent at this time. Also, I was able to contact Anaheim Police Department where they use a lot of these cameras for parks and other events, and they were able to loan us one of these portable surveillance trailer cameras that we can use at some of these parks as a trial period, just to see if that's something that would work at our parks. It's mobile, so Public Works would be able to move it from park to park depending where we're having the most issues. But I think that's something that would work for us, and hopefully in the future we can possibly get one of these surveillance systems in our city. But we're going to try that out, see how that works. And hopefully that will deter people just by looking at the surveillance cameras. Hopefully that will deter people from going into these restrooms and again, committing criminal activity in there. Thank you.
Thank you.
With that, I'm open to any questions if you.
Yeah. Yeah, Phil, John, Lieutenant Barrio, thank you so much for the presentation. Colleagues, this is just an information item. It's not a voting item, but questions, comments, colleagues?
Yeah,
Go
yes.
ahead.
Thank you. I would like to thank you, staff, for looking into this and come up with a lot of good ideas to see if how do we maximize the restroom availability to people who use a park, and also minimize the vandalism. I continue receive a lot of phone call from seniors. We're talking about people from 70 to 80 plus years old. They use the park, especially the Garden Grove Park, very early, almost every day, every single mornings. They came and exercise, and I think that's a good thing that our seniors is using our park to exercise, keep them in good health. As with seniors, they are very prone to the need for using the restroom, and so if it is locked for whatever reason, justified reason, it's make it very tough on them. And surely on Tuesday, August the 16th, they called me at 8 o'clock in the morning and said, Councilman Bui, please help. What can we do? We cannot walk, hundreds of feet toward the next restroom. Can you do something about it? And we was not able to help them that day because the restroom was vandalized and it just had to be repaired, so it's just off, for their use. But thank you to Public Works for repairing that quickly, and within a couple of days it's back in services, and they would like to ask me to thank you, Public Works, for helping them. It's meant a great deal to them. So I think moving forward, we need to come up with more idea, and I'm really glad that we have explored the use of smart lock. With smart lock, it doesn't cost much, $200 to $300 per lock, and it allows us to automatically close the lock, after certain seconds, past the hours, and it also given us the ability to open it remotely. If we have internet access to it. And I think that will be very important in case that it's after 3 p.m. and someone really need to use it, and if we determine that it's warranted, then we could just open it and then have someone, some staff coming over and check on the condition of the restroom. So I would like to encourage staff to look into it. And if we need a budget, I'm hopeful that the council will spare some small change in the budget to to come up with a pilot project, and if it seemed to be, a workable solution, then we would, spend a little more money to roll it out to every single park. Thank you, staff.
Go ahead, George.
Yeah, you know what? The community thanks you guys tremendously. The bathrooms has always been a problem. The TikTok video challenge last year going around to destroy bathrooms, I don't know if that had anything to do with our vandalism in particular, but I know that's the kind of thing that encourages kids to go out and do crazy stuff. I know one of the porta potties they put out there at one of the parks, because of the vandalism, that thing got burned down after one day, right? Somebody threw some gas on it and lit it on fire. The challenges with the automatic door locks, because, you're playing at the park as a kid and the door's going to lock at 5 o'clock and you're going to be there playing basketball till 7 or 8. You put a napkin or something in the lock to keep it from, engaging and locking. And so there's a lot of challenges to overcome with this. And it really is great that you guys are looking into this, exploring all the nuances, the cameras, what may or may not work. Just saying we're closing them all, that's really not an acceptable answer. We have to provide service to our community. Like Councilman Bowie had echoed, it's mostly the seniors that are complaining to us. It's mostly the senior citizens that are using the park during the daytime. So anyway, kudos. Thank you for looking into it and raising the bar.
Just one quick comment, Councilman Branningham. Your concern about kids jumping up and prevent the smart lock to be able to lock, and that's really a good hack. That they can overcome that very easily. But the good side of that is we will know immediately. We can monitor the status of the lock to know that that lock is being jammed and it's not locking. So at least we can send staff or our officer over there and unjam it.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments on this item? All right. Thank you all again for the presentation.
Thank you.
We'll move on to general matters from council members. Go around the horn. George, anything to add?
I'm quiet today.
Mayor Pro Tem Tuhawen.
I don't have anything today.
Councilmember Bowie.
I'm happy camper today with the restroom
Councilmember
situation.
Pfaffenstein.
Boy, oh gosh. I do have a few things. First off, I just want to make a comment. We had a speaker during oral communication. Mrs. Finch and her husband were here. They are District 5 residents. They obviously gave us a packet of information here showcasing some of the issues within their neighborhood. I appreciate anybody that's willing to come out to a council meeting, put together this little presentation that they did, and express their concerns. So I just want them to know, I know they're probably not watching right now, but I want them to know that I heard them, and I was able to get their information from the mayor and the pink card there, and so I'll be in contact with them tomorrow just to see if there's anything I can do to help. And then I just wanted to make mention of the City of Hope. I know they weren't here this evening, but I was at their kind of opening celebration that they had yesterday at the Great Park. It was an honor to represent Garden Grove and give them a proclamation. They are now seeing patients, and so it's wonderful to have that cancer research and just all that facility brings to people, mostly hope, at the Great Park in Irvine. They had a bunch of the patients up in their large balloon, and there's artwork now on the balloon showcasing Rise Above Cancer. It was very moving, some really just heartfelt stories from people that their lives have been saved because of City of Hope. So it's wonderful to have them in Orange County. And I think there was one thing else I wanted to mention. Oh, the Boys and Girls Club had their state of the club today, and I also had an honor to speak at that and give kind of a condensed little state of the city. Thank you, Mayor, for allowing me to have that opportunity. And so that was great. And then finally, Orange County Vector Mosquito Control District just celebrated their 75th year. At the district, they had a little event last Thursday, and so just a reminder to everyone as your trustee to tip and toss. We're doing actually really well this season with mosquitoes in Garden Grove, so let's keep it up. Thank you.
Councilmember Kim Wynn, nothing. Okay. In Scott Stahl's absence, anything for the good of the order from City Manager's office?
No, not this evening. I'm a happy camper.
Thank you. General Counsel, any need for closed session or anything to report?
Yes, Mayor, we did have a closed session item for the successor agency, and there is no reportable action out of that. And we had 2 closed session items for the city council, and there is no reportable action out of that as well. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you all, and thank you all for attending. And with that, we will stand adjourned. Thank you.